What is up, Cahir Club? And welcome back to the CahirLIVE live stream. How goes it? I hope everybody's had a wonderful start to their week. It is Monday. Boo. 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 But yeah, other than the Monday part, hello Brugger, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. Today we are back with our shiny Minccino shiny hunt. Been a couple of weeks since we last done this. What's the gist? Basically, at the beginning of Pokemon Black and White, the little intro Pokemon, the Welcome to the World of Pokemon guy, that's not shiny locked. So we can shiny hunt that Minccino, and that's what I'm going to do. Will I get it? I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. We're at like 4,500, no, 4,500, yeah, 4,500 encounters. So, I think we're way off 5k. I think that'll happen maybe next stream, if I'm not mistaken. So we're a bit off that, but that's fine. That's chill. Rob, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. We are continuing our shiny Minccino hunt today. Let's fire up the game. First encounter of the stream. Is we gonna get the shiny immediately? That'd be really funny if we did. Not that funny, is it? Not that funny at all. Anyway, alright. Hugins, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. We're continuing our shiny Minccino hunt today. Interesting to see you on Twitch this fine Monday. Yeah, not bad, I guess. Understandable. Better than bad without a guess. Yeah, things are going pretty solid in this corner. Had a chill day. Not very often you're on Twitch when I start. I see. Just been a stroke of good timing. Welcome to the stream, all the same. Oh, Xenoblade music. Hit me hard. I'm getting to the end, but like the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is more like the start. Because that's when you start getting all like a lot of like the big quests, blade quests and stuff. But the World Tree music still hit me hard. What was I looking for? I'm not sure. Alright. Did you see the Aurora Tool? No. I didn't know it was happening until the next morning. I was up. I was awake. I could have seen it. I just didn't know it was happening. Oh, wait, no. I knew it was happening at about 2 AM. And that's when I looked out, and I couldn't see it, and I was like, oh, so I went to sleep. And then it was only the next day I found out that you're probably only able to see it with, like, a camera. So maybe I did... What did you do? Okay. Maybe I did see it. I'm just not aware. The Aurora Borealis. It touched England and a lot of America, and I'd assume parts of Europe as well. There was a big solar flare? I don't know, maybe it wasn't a solar flare, because, yeah, maybe it wasn't a solar flare, because I swear solar flares are the ones that are, like, meant to turn off all our electronics. But maybe that's just fear-mongering. You saw 3 British Twitter mutuals tweet about it at the same time. Clearly they're the same person, all playing a prank on you specifically. You gotta stay alert. Yeah, I don't know if I got anything here. Again, like... Wait, no. Plat and Kite don't look that far from me. So... Maybe... Did they see it though? I can't remember. Not sure. Well, I'll have to recheck, but I didn't see it with my own 2 eyes. Nor through a phone camera. Kinda devastating, but, oh well. Oh, well. It's not like that was like a once-in-a-lifetime event or something, you know? They should have signaled it, you know? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, the Sun should have, like, put out, like, a blaring announcement. There will be an Aurora Borealis in this area. Make sure to look at the sky. But no, it didn't. Ridiculous, really. But yeah, no, I entirely missed it. Because I was on a Twitter blackout, because I didn't want to get spoiled on Doctor Who. Which I didn't get spoiled on, actually. I got to watch the first 2 episodes entirely blind, which was good. Yeah, they were pretty solid. I like the second one more than the first. I like Devil's Cord more. But I don't think they're as good as Ruby Road. I think Wild Blue Yonder is still, like, the best of the new era so far, since Russell T Davies took back over. I'd say, Wild Blue Yonder is, like, the best one. There's definitely been a tonal shift, I've noticed. And while I'm still enjoying it, I'm interested to see if I'm ever gonna like it as much as, like, when I loved the show, you know, when I was obsessed with the show. You know? Like, because it's clear that they're going for, like, a different tone now, which is fair enough, you know? I'm not against a thing reinventing itself, but I just wonder if it'll ever, like, hit the same peaks for me, but I guess that will be answered next week, because Stephen Moffat, who wrote the Doctor Who of my childhood, Stephen Moffat, who wrote the Doctor Who of my childhood, he's writing the next episode, so we'll see. Because I feel like if there's any episode this season that I'm gonna like, it's probably that one, you know? Because, like, Moffat is good at writing bangers, you know? Like, you give Moffat the reins to, like, a Doctor Who script. What is it? Are you my mummy? Blink? I've not seen Blink, but I've always heard good things about it. And stuff like Listen, as well. The one, it's the first season of the 12th Doctor, and it starts with this really good, like, open, where he's, like, talking to the viewer, or himself, he's talking to himself. Technically, yeah, he's talking to himself, that's the point. He's talking to himself, and he's like, why do we do that? Why do we talk to ourselves sometimes? What if there was a creature that evolved so well that you never evolved to hide so well that you never knew it was there? And that was, like, the episode premise. And then it also, like, had a very big focus on, like, the actual story arc of the season with Clara and her new boyfriend, Danny Pink. That was a banger of an episode. So I'm seated for a new Moffat episode. I'm aware, though, that maybe I'm setting my hopes too high. I'm a bit worried that I've set my hopes a bit too high and it's gonna be over. I think Blink might be your favourite ever. I need to watch Blink, but I'm unsure if it'll be my favourite, just because I like stories with the Doctor in them, and I've heard he's not really in Blink. You know? Like, when I think about my favourite episodes, it's because the Doctor does something cool in them, you know? It's because the Doctor's present and being the Doctor in it. Yeah, the one you remember the most. You better not be slating the Doctor Who. But yeah, I need to watch the rest of that season, because that's the first season the 10th Doctor meets the Master in. The first appearance of the Master in the revival. And I've not actually seen those episodes. So I need to get on that at some point, really. Maybe the Angels were just the scariest ones to tell you. They were, to be fair. The Weeping Angels are definitely one of the most fucked up concepts. Like, even now, you know, like, 11th Doctor, first series, his first two-parter, bringing back River Song. It was a big thing. Moffat brought back the Angels for that episode as well, because he's fucking genius and knows exactly how to cook the best plot possible. Like, the best situation possible. And... what is it? In that episode, Amy Pond, staring at, like, a monitor, displaying this, like, weeping angel they've captured, like, trapped in a room, and it, like, comes out of the monitor and goes into her eye. Because all that holds a picture of an angel becomes an angel. Even today, when I see, like, a picture of a weeping angel, I'm, like, quickly like, oh! You know? I'm like, you're not fucking with me, mate! You're not fucking with me! Like, that was probably one of the best things added to the Angels lore. Is that, like, concept, because it just makes them that much more terrifying. Then, of course, it kind of pivots to the worst thing added, which is the Statue of Liberty as a weeping angel. To be fair, it's like a stupidly good... like, it's a stupid idea. But I find it funny, like, just the implication, like, someone's always looking at that fucking statue, you know? Like, when is that statue... like, someone's always got to have their eyes on that statue, like... New York's a big fucking place. There's probably someone watching it at all times. So we wouldn't fucking know. How we fucking know? We wouldn't. It could be. It's dumb, but I find it funny. But yeah, I'm interested to see how the rest of the season's gonna go. I'm looking forward to 2 episodes at the moment. 2 main episodes. Boom, written by Moffat. And the one set in, like, the 1800s or some shit, where there's that guy who's clearly, like, another time traveler hunting the Doctor, and from the few clips we've seen, there is clearly a, like, suffocating amount of sexual tension between them, which I'm very looking forward to watch play out. Like, I've got my eye on that episode just for that. I hope we get to see another reoccurring Doctor love interest. Because, I don't know, I don't like it when the Doctor gets with companions. I was having a conversation with this with a friend, like, a while back. I don't like the Doctor getting with companions. I don't just mean Yaz, I didn't really watch 13's era past Season 2, which is most of her era, actually. I didn't watch the Flux onwards. So I never really, like, saw, like, them actually, like, kind of almost get together and then not, which is, as far as I am aware, what happens. But I didn't really like the parts where they were implying, like, 11 was getting with Clara. I didn't like the parts where, like, Amy was, like, cheating on Rory with the Doctor. And I wasn't really that big of a fan of, like, the Rose Doctor dynamic they had going on either. But, like, when it's, like, a reoccurring character who's kind of on... I guess on the Doctor's level feels a bit harsh to say about, like, some of the other companions, but, like... I don't know, I just don't like the dynamic of, like, the Doctor and a companion getting together. When it's, like, an outside force, like River Song. Loved that. That was great. Companion... When it's, like, someone like River Song... Peak. Especially because they're, like... Obviously, that's entirely, like, overthrown in the best Doctor Who episode, actually. I've just remembered my favourite episode. Husbands of River Song. Just because of that one moment where River's, like, pouring her heart out, being like, oh, the Doctor would never save me. He doesn't care about me. I love him with all my heart. All I do is love him, but he never loves me back. And then, like, the Doctor just walks up beside her with just this shit-ass grin on his face. And she just looks at him, just with horror in her eyes as she slowly starts putting it together. And he just goes, hello, sweetie. And then they instantly snap, like, into place and start planning it. I just love that scene a lot. I think that's probably my favorite episode. What was I saying? Oh, right, yeah. Other than that episode, I find it interesting that, like, their timelines are, like, in reverse as well. Like, it's not, like, a one-to-one in reverse, but, like... Oh, wait, no, it is. Kind of. Kind of not. You know what I mean. It's all fucky, and I like that concept of, like, a time traveler and the person they love, who's also a time traveler, kind of meeting each other at varying points. That chemistry just always being there. But, like... spoilers. You know? Rosie, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. I am playing... shiny hunting for Minccino once again. But yeah. I think the implication of a kind of character like that, again, is what I kind of like. And I'm looking forward to that episode. I also just find the implication funny of, like, a guy going to hunt the Doctor, but them also being, like, a suffocating amount of sexual tension in the air between them. There's never a better dynamic than that. Like, just gonna come out and say it. I'm liking Chuchi as the Doctor, though. Like, sometimes I do find the writing and the pacing a bit squiffy. But, like, Chuchi's charisma, and also, like, his dynamic with Millie, I'd say, like, even in the implication, even in a situation where this series is, like, structurally as bad as, say, 12, as in season 12, I think Chuchi and Millie have enough chemistry and charisma to carry it on their own. No offense to Jodie, but like I enjoy watching them, if that makes sense. Alright. But it is funny, like, being on Twitter, with, like... It seems that once a product gets a certain following, everyone fucking hates it in that group. Because I swear, like, all the Doctor Who posts I saw after the episode were just picking holes. It was like picking holes wherever they could. Like, I think I just need to, like, not look at Twitter for Doctor Who conversation. I feel like that's just a fair point on anything, though. Like, if you want to see, like, a conversation, don't go on Twitter. Like, about a thing you like, don't go on Twitter. Like, very rarely are you gonna find, like, a good conversation about something you like on Twitter. You know? I'm gonna take a drink quickly. Like... For literally any subject, right? It's just a cesspool of people yapping at each other. Even like if it's about a subject of substance, that a conversation that needs to be had, bring it to Twitter, and it just devolves into like a barely recognizable thing of what it was meant to be. Because people just like to fight on there. They don't, like... I feel like a lot of the time people don't really care about what they're saying. They just care about the fact that they're, like, arguing. Yeah, although, did you see that thing with Marvel Rivals? I did not. They posted the non-disclosure agreement for playing that game on Twitter. As in, it got leaked? I'm guessing it got leaked, rather than an official source posting a non-disclosure agreement. Because I feel like, would that not be part of the NDA? The non-disclosure agreement? No, I've not signed an NDA in years. Apparently bash the game or give it a bad review and you'll be blacklisted. Interesting. Oh, that's intriguing. Like, I don't get why they're saying that. Why do they feel a need to say that? When every fucking screenshot or clip of that game I've seen... I've not seen any of, like, actual gameplay, to be fair. So maybe I should take a step back. But, like, a lot of the cinematics and the art direction and stuff looks really good. So why do they feel the need to say that? Like, if you have confidence in the game you're making, you shouldn't be saying, don't shit talk it. Don't shit talk it. Although they said it was a miscommunication. How do you miscommunicate that? Your favorite Overwatch streamer was playing that today? Yeah? How does the gameplay look? Because again, I've mainly seen like the presentation of the game rather than actual gameplay so far. And the presentation looks great. Like, they are doing very well at presenting the game. If maybe not on the non-disclosure agreements. Alright. Yeah, they even gave 3 different examples of bashing the game. No, guys, I promise, that really specific thing I said, that really specific thing we said, that was a miscommunicate. We didn't mean that. We didn't mean that, even though it was on an official document, which means legally we have to follow through with it. Like, we didn't mean it. We weren't being serious. Did you guys think we were being serious about that thing we put on a legal document? Classy save, guys. You did it. No one suspects a thing. Everyone's on your side again. The audience has erupted in applause. Brilliant. Close enough. It's a positive sound. That's basically applause. Shit, wrong one. I was wondering. Like, it's a positive sound. Same vibe, right? Like, if someone makes a positive sound, then, like, it's all the same, really. Part of me wonders what I'm going to have to do with that counter if I accidentally... Not accident. Is it accidental if I get to 10k. What's an what is an accident? An unfortunate incident that happens unexpectedly and unintentionally, typically resulting in damage or incident. An event that happens by chance, or that is without apparent or deliberate cause. Is it an apparent cause? If I get unlucky? Is that apparent? Like, would it be an accident for me to go too high in a shiny hunt? For me to, like, get too big of a number? Because, like, that is unintentional, you know? But, like, also with the shiny hunt, you can't really have much intention because it's RNG. I guess it kind of is justified in the sense that, it is kind of justified in the sense that RNG. But yeah. Aren't Blizzard hiring for, like, a new PvE game? Like... I'm impressed with how they've handled Overwatch. Just because of how, like... How do you manage... When they were, like, Overwatch 2, their whole reason for it was, like... Story. More lore. PvE game modes. And there's none of that. It's just Overwatch 1 but free. Right. That's all there is to it, really. It's Overwatch 1 with more characters and free. Pretty much, yeah. Like, the issue is they've now figured out, they changed it from 6v6 to 5v5. Well, that changes everything, doesn't it? Now everything's different, really. Do you think if they make Overwatch 3, it'll be 4v4? It'll be the same game again, obviously. They'll promise stuff. They'll promise that stuff's going to happen. It won't come through. It'll just be Overwatch, but 4v4 instead. And when they officially release it, they'll make sure to shut down Overwatch 2. Alright. To be honest, it kind of is. Like, I'll never go near a tank roll now. Yeah, aren't tanks, like, broken? Or... Oh, as in you playing him. I see, I see. I don't know. I know there's... I often hear my friends who play Overwatch complaining about balancing issues. Which is promising for a game that's played as an esport, you know? What esport? Is an esport truly good if it's balanced? Like, if you made a balanced esport, that would be boring, right? It's got to be unbalanced. You've got to have specific niches that you kind of have to play into. Or play to counter. 2 or 3 characters just never getting nerfed for no apparent reason. Exactly. Like, that's how you run a video game. A competitive video game. There's no better way of that, you know? That's just, like, the way to do it, really. The only way to do it. Alright. I entirely zoned out there while I was itching my chin. I just had an itch, you know? And like my brain was like, goodbye. Goodbye. I don't need to be here while this is happening. And like it did. It did need to be there while it was happening. It just wasn't. It just kind of like left for a second. It just walked out my ear. Just let me handle it. I could do better than these people. Probably. Like... You have to wonder. Like, what specifically it is that makes them reluctant to nerf characters. Changing it so your mate can kill any character with one shot. Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what you need to do, though. Like, that would fix it. That would fix the game. When you think about it, that would make everything better. Right. Just trying to assemble a thought, but Xenoblade music's still playing, so not still playing, it's playing again, which obviously entirely derailed any thought I was trying to have. Alright. No. No, it's gone. Okay. But, yeah, no, as I was saying, I'm pretty close to the end of Xenoblade. I am just before the final fight with Jin. I'm not sure if anyone here has played X2. XC2. But so I'm right before the final fight with Jin, which... When I first played through the game, stalled me for, like, months. I could not get through that fight, and I went on, like, a huge-ass detour. Going through, like, every Blade quest I could. Every quest I could. I don't think I completed every quest in the end, but I completed a large portion of them, specifically just trying to grind up for the fight. Doing affinity charts, doing quests, getting it all done, getting it all sorted. And then I beat him in the end. And I can't remember. I might have done another detour right before the final boss. I feel like logistically I could have just rocketed from that fight to the final boss and been fine. But so I'm just like making sure everything's sorted for that fight because I'm like, oh, that's my capture card thing on the oh, but this isn't a capture card game, so that's fine. Like, for a moment there, I would have gone into, like, explaining Xenoblade combat, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2 combat, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Especially since people don't really like Xenoblade Chronicles 2's combat system. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I think it's interesting. I think after you understand what's going on, it becomes engaging. I understand that what's going on is explained to you through multiple text boxes rather than any other way. Like, it spends until chapter 3 introducing new concepts to you in just like huge ass info dumps at the beginning of random boss fights as it tries to explain to you what the fuck's going on. Which is the best way to design a video game, obviously. You know? Like, if it's not really convoluted, is it really a good combat system? Like, I just think that's the best way to do a thing, is just make it all really convoluted. Alright. I still think Breath of the Wild's probably... Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is probably one of my favorite, like, systems of combat. It's just a very satisfying to execute thing, you know? Simple as boring. Exactly. You get it. Exactly. You play games for the reading. No, precisely, you know? Oh, I expected to continue. Welcome Area 51 is watching, and thank you for the bits. I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. But yeah, no, exactly. Like, video games, it's all about the reading with video games, you know? It's all about, like, the plot and story. I think if we could make a video game that is just reading and plot, that'd be the best video game, you know? No actual gameplay. I saw a tweet ages ago where someone said Pokemon is just a bunch of menus. I don't know, I didn't think of it like that before. What happened to imagination? I feel like a lot of video games could be boiled down to just a bunch of text boxes, or just a bunch of boxes and menus, though. Like, I feel like that's a very, like, reductive take on any video game. Like, is Earthbound not that?
Photos printed?
Thank you for the resubscription, Area 51. How, yeah, welcome back to the Cahir Club. I could have sworn you'd already... Maybe not. Well, I guess obviously not. But yeah, thank you for resubscribing. It's actually, my affiliate anniversary, my Twitch affiliate anniversary today, apparently, which is funny. I didn't know that. I never really marked it down in my head. Other account? Fair. Makes sense. That's the first week gift for celebration. I mean... if you're willing. Obviously don't.
Photos printed?
Hell yeah. Thank you for the gifted subs, Area 51. That is very kind of you. Thank you a lot. For celebration of my affiliate. It has been,
Photos printed?
must be 3 years. To Zoppy92 and Nike831. Getting nostalgia from the Minecraft music. Hello, Mr. B, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. Yeah, the Minecraft music is very good. But yeah, thank you again, Area 51. That was very kind. I'll drop another later. Again, don't feel pressured, but... What's photos printed? It's that... I do wonder about changing the sounds at some point. It's that, like, meme where it's like, hey, just wondering if you got your photos printed? Belgo's printed? What? You know? And... Wait, so... Following is Bogle's minted. Subscribing is photos printed. One of them is Hey, just wondering if you got your photos printed. Cannot remember which one that is. Have to admit, I need to up my game. I have not seen that one. I'll be honest, it was from a few years ago. I set those alerts up in 2021. They make the same noise? No, I could have sworn following was Bogo's Binted. Bogo's Binted is a very similar sound. I should be careful doing it on this one. User has said nothing at all. That is impressive. Welcome to the stream, user. I hope that your week has gotten off to a good start. Today I'm shiny hunting for a shiny Minccino at the beginning of Pokemon Black and White. But I'm pretty sure it's... Yeah, no, it is a different noise. They're just kind of similar noises. Where's the... Yeah, no, it's Bogo's minted. Oh, that is upside down text. I'm not sure that's English. Which makes sense why I struggle to read it so much. Generally, I'm pretty good with upside down text. Which is funny because I'm dyslexic, which means I shouldn't be good with it. Hope the using is going well. Alright. Actually, that makes perfect sense. Does it? I might have to find the other phone to get a train going. I don't know, I feel like that's a bit... cheaty. I feel like that's a bit manipulative of the system. Yeah, he's using... Oh, I get it. I understand. You want more emotes? Yeah, but I don't know. Alright. Oh, Brugger has figured out how to say nothing at all as well. Is it like you just do a spacebar or something? Alright. No, I like almost caught my thought again, but it's gone again. It's just left. I think it was about the menus. Yeah, I don't know, like a lot of video games are technically menus. Alright, yeah. I found out a long time ago, when you were streaming like Legends of the Arena. That's fair. I don't know, I feel like I have seen other people do it. I know it's one of those little, like... funky quirks. Gotta love a funky quirk. The best kind of quirks are the funky quirks. Alright. No, I cannot remember what I was saying about video games. No, okay. It is interesting how Pokemon's kind of gotten more and more dialogue as it's gone along. Like, I wouldn't mind if... Like, Sun and Moon are my favorite games. Don't get me wrong. I think the whole text complaints are a bit overblown for Sun and Moon. But I do think that, it'd be better if Pokemon did cut down on the amount of text at the beginning of their games. Because, like, why is that so much? Because, like, even, like, Black and White, you get to that first gym in, like, the first hour. Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet, you can probably get to the first gym quicker than Sword and Shield, to be fair. Partially because Sword and Shield put their first gym so late, for whatever reason. Like, that first gym in Sword and Shield. So you go through, like, the beginning bits. The first gym should be Motostoke. Like, I get why it's not Motostoke, I get why Motostoke's the third gym. But... like, it just feels like a long time to to get to the first gym. Like, it feels like a very long way into the game. To be fair, not really, mate. Scarlet Violet, you have like 2 hours of gameplay before you can actually go anywhere. I mean, it really depends how quick you're being. And then after you get released, you can, like, go straight to the gyms. So, like, I'll give you that. It's debatable, but I think it's debatable in the player's hands. You know? Sword and Shield, they put, like, a lot of things in between you and that first gym. You've got, like, the whole beginning portion of the game, going through the Lost Forest, the forest to, like, in the southwest of the map. You go through there, you do that first route, you have, like, multiple battles with Hop. 3 battles with Hop before the first gym. I believe the most prior to that is, like, Barry with 2. Or Bianca and Sharon, who also have 2. I guess a lot of rivals have 2 battles before the first gym, but that's not my point. Like, there's that bit where you go through the wild area. Which, to be fair, you can also dash through that. But then you go into Motostoke, you have two routes in a cave, another rival fight with Bede, which is 4 different rival fights. I'm away for a chicken and burger cheese wraps with barbecue sauce. Oh, very nice, very nice. I hope you enjoy. But yeah, I feel like Sword and Shield is probably the worst when it comes to, like, how long it is until you get to the first gym. Oimu. And then... I guess Black and White feels like the best to me. I might be wrong on this, but Black and White feels like the best. Because Black and White is the starting town, a cumulative town, which is like a quick pass out, and then only one other route before you get to the first town. Like, in other games where, like, that first gym is pretty close, Gen 1, you have to go through, which Black and White? The first one. Dominic, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. Because you start off in November, go to Accumula, up through Route 1, go through Route 2 to get to Stryden, and then you go into the Dream Yard quickly. In fact, do you have to go into... Yeah, no, I think you have to go into the Dream Yard. Maybe you don't. The first gym in Black and White 2 is closer, though. I don't know, there's a lot more in between it, I'd say. Let's get to the first gym in 2. What's it called? To get to the first gym in 2, you have to go through Route 18, I think it's 18, into Vlokesi. Then you go through Route 19 into the ranch, where you have to rescue... No, you only have to battle the rival to unlock the gym in the first one? Oh, yeah. Then you go to Vlokesi Ranch. You go through the ranch to get to Herdia. The ranch being a pretty beefy area. And then you go back and have to fight those 2 kids with Alder before backtracking to the first town. I feel like in terms of time, maybe it isn't much longer in Black and White 2, but I think there's more in Black and White 2 between you and the first gym. Wonder what Taurus Animations has in store for the 60th anniversary in 2025. Hopefully it's cool. That's a big number, so hopefully they do something nice to it. Nice for it. Gold and Silver quickest then? I don't think so either. Gold and Silver, you have to go through route, what's that, 28, 29, into Cherry Grove, up again, back, all the way back to Elm, and then back up again. That's like 2 laps up to the first gym. And then you have to do Sprout Tower as well. Like, it's the same with Black and White 2, where technically it's pretty close, but you have to do, like... You have to go there and back, and do a big dungeon. Maybe Black and White 2 are Gold Silver too. Maybe they are remakes of Gold and Silver, like how Black and White remakes of Red and Blue. I pressed the wrong button though. Did I increment? I don't think I incremented. Yeah, Hoenn, you go through Odale, and then you go through Petalburg. Then you have to go through the forest as well. Gen 4, you have to go up to Sandgem into Jubilife, and then up through Orberg Gate, and then you also have to go into the mine. Gen 6, you only have to go through the forest. That first route is, yeah, but no required battles, though. I mean, other than Silver. But no, there are required battles. Wait, which game are you talking about the required battles? Alright. What was I looking for? Yeah, I think maybe X and Y might be the quickest now that I think about it, which is ironic, because, So I thought you sent that earlier, before you started writing the other message. Oh! Weird. But, no, I'll get there. Yeah, no, I think X and Y might be. Because X and Y, you start, you go through that first little route. To be fair, there's the route before and after Santaloon Forest. But other than that, it's a pretty straight line to that gym. But then again, I do think routes 1 and 2 are pretty short in the grand scheme of things. They only have maybe like 5 battles between them. I'd say it could be either black and white or X and Y. Unsure. We did it recently. Silver's kind of long, as you have to do all the missed Pokemon stuff. Exactly, yeah, I know. We got a crossover show called Taurus Animation Camp. Oh, that's cool, that's cool. What's the hardest main series game in your opinion? Legends Arceus, because you don't actually have to focus on your battle skills there. It's more about reaction times. I'd say Usum's up there. I guess when I played Crystal, I did a bunch of grinding, so maybe that's not an accurate demonstration of how hard that game really is. And I've not actually finished Gen 1, and I know a lot of people say that that's very hard. So, I'm in my personal experience, I'd probably say Usum. There are some very hard battles in Usum. I think the totems are a very good boss system. I think if they do big Pokemon you have to defeat, then yeah, I think if they do big Pokemon you have to defeat again, they have to make it 2v1 again. Because 2v1 makes the 2v1 part is what makes the totem fights really difficult. I think without that, wait, have you never finished Gen 1? Nope. I started it when it released on Virtual Console, but I never finished it in the end. I finished Kanto before. I finished it in Let's Go Eevee, and I finished it in Fire Red. But, I mean, bluntly put, I was born in the time of the DS. So new stream ideas? Maybe at some point. I've got other things I want to do first, though. Like, I've never been eager to go back to Gen 1, is the blunt truth. Like, there are other more modern ways of experiencing Kanto these days anyway, because of Let's Go and Fire Red. You did like 20 plus tries with Ultra Necrozma. Yeah, Ultra Necrozma was very hard. How many eggs have been submitted so far? I've not. Last time I checked, it was about 20. I don't know how many more have been submitted. But we lost the Violet Nuzlocke, so I don't know. I want to retry the Violet Nuzlocke, but bluntly put, I don't want to retry it immediately. So I think what my plan is going to be, I'm going to do another game on Wednesday. I don't know how long that series is going to last for. I don't know how popular it's going to be. I think I'm going to do another game series of a non-Pokemon game, which is going to make this week rather unconventional for the CahirLIVE channel, because I've got a special stream coming on Friday as well. But yeah, and then after I've done that, I'm going to go back to Violet. And then hopefully by the time I've beaten Violet, we have enough egg submissions. So that would be the dub there. We think. So yeah, let ideas fester away when you guys have them, and feel free to put them in. I'm not gonna limit you guys. Feel free to do as many as you wish. Alakazam was so broken? Yeah, I heard Alakazam was good. Exciting times, or do you mean egg-citing times? Oh, I guess you mean this week, which isn't eggs. Let's get cracking real. Right. I'm not sure, but you think you named one femboy. I think you did mention that, yes. Be sure not to spoil what you put in the eggs, though, guys. Like, if you tell me what you've named them and stuff, then you're not going to get my reaction when I actually get the egg. Like, I understand the desire to let me know now. But the point of it is it's a secret, right? The point of it is I don't know until I hatch the egg. Alright. But yeah. The egg lock might not be happening for a bit, because, again, I wanna do another game first. It's been a game I've been wanting to play for a while, and I don't know. After it was during, like, the beginning of the second round of the Violet Nuzlocke, as we did that yesterday, and I was just thinking, maybe I should, like, take a step back from this, because the issue was I'd convinced myself a little bit too hard that I was going to win it, I guess. Do you hear My Sims playthrough? Exactly, you got it, Felix. You really got it. It's going to be a CahirLIVE My Sims playthrough. Hopefully Peanut Butter Gamer doesn't come over and beat me up, am I right, guys? Am I right? Hopefully Peanut Butter Gamer doesn't try to kill me for that. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Why do all the Nintendo... I mean, I guess... Why do all the game reviewers have, like, ops? Why do they have that one game that, like... they avoid? And then eventually they, like, hit a certain milestone and they finally do it. And, like, an intense, like, roleplay segment as they come to terms with the fact that they're playing that game. Generally with, like, a emotional character arc over the course of the review, as they like it for a bit and then realize they hate it by the end, you know? Like, I guess that's not really that much of a thing these days. But are video game reviews in that kind of format that much of a thing these days? Maybe it's just because I don't really watch them anymore, that I don't know of them. But are there any video game reviewers who review games in that kind of format these days? I know Peanut Butter Game is still going. But... like, that's one of the things I find interesting about, like, YouTube, is there's still, like, the YouTube of the past around, you know? Whether it's people who started then who never really changed, who never really kept up to date with the modern ways of doing things. Or if it's people who were inspired by that and wanted to, like, kind of emulate that kind of style of video making. Like, you can find old-style Let's Plays, if you know where to look. And I just think that's one of the nicer things about YouTube, is not everyone keeps up with the times. Maybe I should become the new Smosh and lip sync the Pokemon theme. But the new one, the new Pokemon Horizons theme, which is pretty mid. And the memes that are 200% worse these days. I feel like memes have always been worse than they were before. Because we remember the memes before as being funnier. Like, I'm gonna be real. In 2018, we were laughing at Grande edits of We Are Number One, where he, like, put various characters or made it a different song. And that was the funniest shit. Like, one day some fucker made a 3D model of this fucked up looking Knuckles. Put him in VR chat. And I'm guessing someone else then used that model, put on a Ugandan accent, and that was a thing people found really funny for a couple of weeks. People really fucking love that for some reason. I never really got that, I'll be honest. Like, I don't think memes have gotten worse. I think we just remember the memes that were good. And I think that's because, like, people have always been like, oh, memes are so shit now. I don't think that was the case. I think it's easier to look back and be like, wow, that was good. Now you don't have it anymore. I don't know what's in slot 4, but let's find out. Yeah. I feel like that's like, as in the Horizons one? Yeah. Not the Japanese one. The dub one. I'm not as big of a fan of the Japanese one for... Oh, wait, no, you only watched the dub, right? But yeah, I think it's like an interesting, like, kind of event where I think there's like a mix of how it happens. I just heard the Japanese one for the next series is by a group you know. Ah, fair. I'm not sure I know the group. I'll be honest, I think this is my least favorite of the 3 openings, but it's still pretty good. I think the other 2 have a lot more hype behind them. Is my opinion. But it's still solid. Some good animation to it. But yeah, no, I feel like people... What was I looking for? How am I condensing this idea? What gem has Parrot Punch introduced? 6. I apologize, I missed that. Parrot Punch was Gen 6. I remember because Karina gave it to you for beating her gym. You know, I think people do look back on things more fondly than they do as they experience them in the present time. I think that people kind of view things one of 2 ways. One is, like, people change their minds drastically over time. And the other is, oh, it's different people with different opinions who are being more vocal at points, you know? And I do think that, say, when a new generation of Pokemon becomes the new best one, is partially influenced by the fact that the people who grew up on that generation are now, like, the most vocal group on the internet at the time, you know? Because, like, even if you look at other corners, people still say Emerald's the best. Sorry, I kind of said that without context. When I was young, Emerald was the best. It wasn't my best, but it was the best. Everyone was always, Emerald's the best. Emerald's where Pokemon peaks, you know? That's what everybody said. These days, it's black on white. A few years ago, it was Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. And I think that is very much governed by what people grew up on. The games people grew up on. In fact, there's even a switch up on ORAS now, as people who grew up on ORAS and didn't play the original Gen 3 played it, and they're like, oh, ORAS is peak. And there are people, and I think actually ORAS is the best game to use this example with, people who played ORAS and then ended up not liking it the first time through, because it was the first time through and it was different and stuff. And it's one of those things they can look back on more fondly and be like, oh, this was really good, actually. And I think that is, like, that's why these opinions kind of change and shift over time. Black and White's another good example, because everyone fucking hated Black and White when it first came out. Does anyone say that about X and Y? Yes, there are a bunch of people who are saying X and Y were the best now. And I think that's why we're seeing such hype for Z to A, because we're kind of in this... We're getting to the generation who grew up on XY. I just think that the generation who grew up on Black White are hanging around for longer because they were much more raised on the internet. But I think there's been a definite shift on the attitude towards X and Y. You know? It all depends on what gens you grew up with. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I've been saying. But I do also think there is a genuine switch up of people's opinions as they look back on things more fondly. So people who didn't like Black and White when they first played it because it was very different, look back on it now and understand the merits, what it actually brought to the table. People look back on ORAS now and understands what merits it had, what it brought to the table in for a Gen 3 remake. People are looking past the fact that it doesn't have a battle frontier and just looking at the actual game itself and understanding, oh, this game is really good, actually, you know? Whereas when it released, oh, it doesn't have battle frontier, oh, it changes a bunch of things from the original. Like, people fucking hated ORAS when it came out, I'm gonna be honest. Like, to be fair, ORAS wasn't, like, a universally hated game. But everything was always better 10 years ago. Exactly. Everything was always better 10 years ago. And I think that's, like, as true as it depends what gen you grew up with. That will probably inform your favorite gen, is what gen you grew up with. But I think there's very much a filter of, even if you didn't grow up with it, you'll look back on it more fondly if it was in the past. Especially because then you're more willing to take it as it is, rather than as you want it to be, which is what happened with ORAS, I think. Loved it personally. ORAS is one of your faves. Exactly. I loved ORAS when it came out as well. Like, I was never on the ORAS hate train, to be clear. I played through ORAS fucking peak. ORAS was one of the few games, about a year into it, because obviously, like, there was just no new game on the horizon. Wait, was that a year in? Yeah, no, that was a year in. A year into it, yeah. A year into it, I took all of my Pokemon, put them all in Pokemon Bank, and restarted ORAS and did it as a Nuzlocke. It was peak. I fucking loved ORAS. But I remember at the time, loads of people on the internet did not like ORAS. They could not run out complaints for the game. It was too easy. They made it too easy in comparison to the originals. The battle frontier being gone was a sin of the greatest order. It did this, it did that, it changed too much. But nowadays, I think it's viewed a lot more fondly. And again, with X and Y, I think nowadays they're viewed a lot more fondly because people are more willing to take them as what they are instead of what they want them to be. And I think that's a very, like, consistent thing is... Because even, like, with Doctor Who, people look back on Capaldi's era a lot more fondly than when it came out. When Capaldi's era was airing, Doctor Who was so over. Every new episode was worse. It was bad. It wasn't good. But these days, people view Capaldi very fondly. And I'm sure that is in part because people like me grew up on Capaldi, and now we're on the internet. But to be fair, I was on the internet in Capaldi's era. What was it called? I don't know. I remember watching reviews for the Capaldi episodes as they were airing. And it was always like, oh, this is really bad. This is really shit. It does all this bad stuff. And... like... I just think there is definitely like a kind of rose-tinted look back on 10 years ago for a lot of people. I don't know, but for me the only good thing that came out of X and Y was making competitive more accessible, but still playing through the main experience was lackluster and I had no fondness for it. That's fair, that's fair. Personally, I think, like, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I think XY is like the Pokemon experience, you know? Like, while it has Mega Evolution, which is technically bells and whistles, I feel like X and Y is a very pure, this is Pokemon experience, you know? I feel like it kind of captures that. It's very close to the core of what Pokemon is as a franchise. I feel like a lot of the other games don't necessarily kind of, like, sit as close to the core of what Pokemon is as XY does, you know? I don't know why I have this feeling about it, but it's a strong feeling I have about X and Y, is that XY is the Pokemon game. All the others are great, do not get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, all the others, they feel like they add more. If that makes sense. Like, if someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, I want to get into Pokemon, I can play any game, I can do anything I need to get any game. What game should I start with? What should be the first Pokemon game I play? I'd say Scarlet and Violet because that's the current one, and you'd be able to trade and interact with people. But I'd also say X and Y. I don't know, that's a funny thing I find when people are like, hey, I'm looking to get into Pokemon. What game should I start with? Scarlet Violet. The latest one. People are always in the comments like, well, I think the new game does this. Well, I think the new game does... Yeah, you think the new game does this. You think the new game does that. Pokemon is like a franchise that is accessible just for the latest entry. If you want to play a new... If someone wants to play a Pokemon game, they can just play the latest entry. You don't need to be like, well, through my analysis. Like, no, just give them the latest entry. People will still be online with that one. People will still be playing that one. If they have any friends who are playing Pokemon, they're probably playing that one. The raids are still active, which means they can join in with raid events. The trades are still active, they can join in with trade events. VGC is still active. If they want to get into competitive, if they manage to get into competitive, that's a good place to start. Wonder Trade is active. Discussion of the game is still going on, even if it's kind of dulled down. And this is like, I just remember seeing this question like pop up a couple of times, like before the DLC release, and it's like, the latest game. You don't, like, Pokemon isn't some franchise where, like, you need to understand the lore. Pokemon isn't some franchise where each game is so vastly different from the next, where if you introduce them to the franchise at the wrong point, they're going to despise it. Like, just the latest game. Alright, I'm going to take a drink quickly. Actually, it's called Surprise Trade. Shut up! I'm sorry, that was kind of mean. I feel like I've kind of... I'm sorry. I feel bad about that. I don't know, when I was suggesting a game, I'd probably say emulate one and see what you think. Tears streaming down my face right now. This is betrayal. I don't know, like... I see where you're coming from, but I feel like saying to someone like, hey, I want to get into this game franchise. I feel like if... I don't know, I feel like emulation is a very bold first suggestion. Like... I don't know, I think of the games and regions differently. You don't know about XY's games, but you love Kalos and Kalos. That's fair, that's fair. Hopefully Zeta 8 gives a nice Kalos experience for all that lore. But I don't know, I feel like Pokemon is... People always forget this about Pokemon as a franchise. Pokemon is meant to be a social franchise. Pokemon is meant to be a social franchise. You're meant to trade with people, you're meant to battle with people, you're meant to do the raids with people, you're meant to talk with people about it, and talk with people about the secrets you find and how to get Meloetta, and where you find certain Pokemon. Like, where you manage to find a certain Pokemon and stuff like that. Like, it's meant to be a social franchise that you communicate with other people as you play. That's why trade evolutions are a thing. People always, like, bang on about trade evolutions being awful. Pokemon's meant to be a social franchise. It's meant to be a collaborative franchise. And I feel like trade evolutions are kind of one of the big embodiments of that idea. Is that you're always meant to lean on other people. Which I do think is very much soured by the fact Nintendo charge you to get online. Like, that's not good. That's not a good part of that situation, but... well, someone gonna spank your bank if you don't like it. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I was maybe imagining a specific person ask. Not a specific person, like an actual person I know, but like, a specific archetype of person asking, like, I want to get into Pokemon. Like, you fundamentally could say emulate a game, but... I don't know. IMO, if I were going to recommend someone to play recommend someone into the franchise, I'd always say, like, the latest game, the most recent game, is the best place to start, because Pokemon is meant to fundamentally be social as a franchise. And I think, like, that's kind of the best Pokemon experience, is playing a modern game with everyone else. You know? I don't care about half the Galar Paldea ones, that's also fair. I don't know, I've seen a lot of people saying they don't really like Paldeamons. I feel like Paldea's got a pretty solid dex. Especially for one of, like, 100 strong. Like, that's one of the things I like about Paldea. Is Paldea's, like, it's 100 Pokemon Pokedex. And I don't know if that was just to get to 1,000, or if they're, like, finally having beefier Pokedexes again. I hope it's the latter. But, to be fair, now, like, Delta's on iPhone, I guess emulation is a lot more accessible, like, just on mobile. Android, iPhone, all of it. As in, like, before if you suggested it, it'd be harder if that person had, like, an iPhone or something, but now you can play Fire Red or Diamond or Platinum or Black and White. But to be fair, I didn't appreciate Alola fully until a few years ago, so maybe it just needs time. I think that is, like, another big thing, is, like, time really helped. Yeah. There's the conversation we were having earlier, oh my god. I think looking back at things, after they've happened is always, like, one of the best ways to look back at something. Like, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee I thought were okay, but now I can look back on them and say they're probably the best-looking Pokemon game on the Switch. I'd be very surprised if Seat A outdoes them. Time's a circle, yes. You got to go, it's getting late, you got some stuff to do, so goodbye and good luck. Thank you, Brugger. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Best of luck with the stuff to do. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Pokemon as a franchise... Like, I do think a lot of game franchises are, like, a kind of franchise where someone could be like, what game should I start with? And, I mean, if I'm being real, I think the answer generally is just the most recent entry. It's probably the easiest to get. You don't have to emulate it. You can just buy it off the shelves. Unless it's, like, really, really bad. Like, a fundamentally bad game. Then, like, maybe not. But, like... But then again, I guess would I recommend Fire Emblem Engage as a first Fire Emblem game? I'd probably still recommend Three Houses on that front, really. It's a fair point. I hadn't thought of it like that. I feel like a lot of games, though, it's just like, you might as well recommend the most recent entry. You know? Rather than overcomplicate it, just be like, well, you can buy this. And it'll go on the console that you have. And you can play it. Because I feel like... the average person, even if they're like... even if they're a gamer, even the average gamer probably doesn't emulate most of the time. Like, maybe like one or two things from their childhood. But I'm sure the average gamer, if they wanted to get into a franchise, they'd be looking to get into the franchise in its modern state rather than, like, live and breathe the franchise. That's... I just coalesced my thoughts. I just realized my feelings on the matter. I feel like when someone asks to get into a franchise, they're not necessarily asking to become as obsessed with the franchise as you are. So why try to get them to see the most peak of the franchise rather than just say, hey, this is the franchise. You know? You just reached entitlement. Hey! Shit, I meant entitlement. Enlightenment. A bit of a difference there. Bit of a difference. Like, I don't know, I feel like if the average person's like, hey, I want to get into this game franchise, they just mean, like... I just realized I don't have my fucking doodads on screen. That stuff. Yeah, no, they're just gonna want to, like, see what the franchise is about. They're not necessarily gonna be, like, looking for a new thing to obsess over. If you know it's someone who is looking to obsess over something new, then, like, recommend a way to, like, the exact place they should start if they want to see, like, the best of the franchise. But I feel like the average person is probably just best to be like, well, this is the most recent thing, you should play this. I feel like there are definitely exceptions to that rule. I said Fire Emblem Engage, which is true. I said not Fire Emblem Engage, which I think is kind of true, in the sense that Fire Emblem Engage is a solid enough game, with great mechanics, but as, like, a central plot element, all the other protagonists are there. Like, if someone was like, hey, I want to play a Fire Emblem game, I'd probably just be like, Three Houses, you know? Especially because Three Houses is generally viewed a lot better plot-wise and stuff. Even if people argue about its plot being good and stuff. The fact that there's an argument to be had there. Like, even, like, the biggest engaged fan is like, I think it's more decent than people let on. But they're not going to be like, yeah, this is Kino. You know? They're not going to be like, yeah, this is, the deepest, most complex story in history. It's like Saturday morning cartoon. And that's fine. That's great. I love it for that. But I do hope the next Fire Emblem game is a bit more of war. Serious beat. You know? Like, they had something good going with Three Houses there. They were like, yeah, here's a lot of lore. Here's an intense story. Here's characters who have, like, varying opinions on, like, the point of the story. Like, that was one of my favorite things about Three Houses, was walking through the monastery. Now, the monastery segment could have been done better. By the time you get to Act 2, you're getting bored of it. That's true. But what I never really got bored of was that first lap around the monastery, where I was talking to everybody. Where I was talking to all of my units and stuff, and hearing their opinion on what was going on right now. That was great, and it really helped deepen the characters, which I think is especially needed in a Fire Emblem game. Because if you look at, like, older Fire Emblem games, there's always, like, Stronglow, the sword fighter. He's got 2 supports that reveal very little about his characterization. And that's it. Like, me getting into the game at Birthright and Conquest was very good, because that's when Fire Emblem started letting their characters be proper characters, even if that was through the lens of you get to bone them. Like, of course you have to get to know these characters. You're going to have sex with them. But, like, it's funny going back to, like, the older Fire Emblem games, because there's, like, more or less a character of the week who has an opinion on the current going-ons, joins your team, and in 2 chapters' time, they don't say anything else for the rest of the game. Because if they say something else for the rest of the game, and they die, then what? They're dead. And I get what's going on there, you know? Like, I'd rather the characters die. I think Three Houses has a bit of an issue where it kind of expects you to keep your main cast alive for the whole game. It's very, like, built into the game that the turn wheel is a necessity, you know? Because if any character dies, you've done yourself a disservice. Because of the lack of late game recruitments. But, what's it called? But I was gonna have a thought. I was gonna have an idea, but I don't really want an idea anymore. I've changed my mind. No, yeah, it feels like you kind of have to keep all the characters alive, otherwise you're actively, like, going to be running on fumes by the end of the game. And the game is very much built to do that with the time pulse. And I think, I don't know, I hope the next main... No, Engage did a great job. What am I talking about? Engage did a great job. It introduced characters throughout the game. It did what a normal Fire Emblem game does. And in fact, some of those characters had supports with multiple members of the cast. Fates. I find it so funny in Fire Emblem Fates that, like, every character who joins you past Chapter 10 only wants to speak to the main character. And the only reason they speak to the main character is because you have to be able to have sex with them. Like, they introduce a character who specifically comes in with a different character. Like, they specifically join you together. They're like... She's, like, helping him out and stuff. They don't talk. They don't have a conversation. There's a master tactician from, like, the nation you're from, like, in one of the paths. And he's like the tactician of the army. He must know the other royals of the place, a lot of their retainers, all of that. He only talks with the main character. And I'm glad that Engage's late game characters do have support conversations with everyone. But, yeah, like, Animal Crossing, I'd say just at least Animal Crossing. Legend of Zelda? Hell, I'd probably just say go to Tears. I feel like most people at this point know the gist of what goes on in Breath of the Wild. And most of that's ignored in Tears of the Kingdom anyway, so it's fine. Like, Tears of the Kingdom is a much more BT game to bite into than Breath of the Wild as well. Like, there's a lot more to explore in it off the bat for, like, someone who's just going into the game. So I feel like it'd be an interesting experience, even if it is meant to be a sequel, if that makes sense. Obviously Mario Wonder and Odyssey. Don't need to say much more about those. Hell, the Persona series, most people just got into it via 5. Well, not most people. A lot of people got into it with 5. Obviously, other JRPGs end up being more chronological. Or if you just try to hop into, like one of the later entries, you're probably going to be a bit confused. But I just feel like most game franchises, you might as well just be like, just play the most recent one. That's going to be the one that's, like, being discussed by everyone. That's the one that's going to still be, like, in the public eye the most. Which is also why Three Houses is the recommendation, because people still debate about whether Edelgard was good, morally grey, or the most evil person ever. Like, if Three Houses did anything right, it was making a character to argue over. Alright. I will stop the, long-ass Fire Emblem rant. It is over. I'll talk about things you guys understand now. Alright. Thank God, I mean, who said that? Alright. You know, thinking on, kidding, it was interesting, you just only play Three Houses, though. That's fair, that's fair. I feel like Engage is probably a better game to play if someone has more experience with the franchise as a whole. Like, it's a good game, but I feel like you get the most out of it when you've actually played other Fire Emblem games, more than just, like, one. Because otherwise you'll just be playing the game like, I don't know any of these people. Byleth Fire Emblem? Alright. You know, thinking back on, like, looking back and then combining that with Marvel Rivals, I'm interested to see how, like, the Marvel franchise is going to be looked back on in I'd say in a few years. I don't know. I guess it depends on when it ends. Like, it's going to end at some point, and I guess it depends on that, you know, more than anything else. It's going to depend on, like, when Fire Emblem... Not Fire Emblem. Marvel. I'm not talking about Fire Emblem anymore. Now you know what my heart still wants to be on. No, yeah. Like, that's what... No, that's not... Okay. That... Marvel. Because, like, Marvel movies just, like, viewed very negatively at the moment, you know? Even, like, ones... People have, like, people actually have a fondness for for Avengers Assemble and earlier. Those are, like, the good Marvel movies in, like, the internet hive mind at the moment. Those are the good ones. If someone's going to talk about, like, oh, remember that good superhero movie? It's going to be, like, one of the older MCU movies. If they're, like, talking about it in regards to the MCU. I'm interested to see how people are going to look back on, like, Infinity War in a few years. Because people look at Infinity War as, like, oh, that wasn't that great at the moment, you know? Like, if you see people talking about Infinity War, you're probably going to be seeing them talking about the CGI and shit, you know? In a few years, is it going to be viewed as peak again? Because, like, I don't know. Endgame was alright. Endgame was, like, solid enough. It was very much like, wow, they're all here. This is so cool. You know? Like, it very much felt like it was trying to be that. At points. It was very much a celebration of the franchise movie. Like Fire Emblem Engage. Yeah, it was very much, meant to be like a celebration of the franchise movie. Infinity War was like just... I think that was a genuinely good superhero movie. You know? Like, it juggled its fucking giant-ass cast very well by making the villain the protagonist. That's respectable. I remember Infinity War being, like, pretty damn good. But these days people, I mean, at least on Twitter, I guess maybe I should specify here. Like, I just wonder if, like, there's going to be that turnaround back on Marvel movies where people are like, oh, these older ones are actually good, by the way. You know? Or if, like, people are just going to always be like, Marvel? No, I don't like that. Overproduced garbage. I just find it funny because it feels like it wasn't that long ago when people being like, Marvel isn't cinema, superhero movies aren't cinema, and people are like, how dare you say that? You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a sour old man. And, like, Martin Scorsese said it again, and people were like, real, you're correct. I just find it funny how, like, that opinion has had a 180. Like, I'll be interested to see if the superhero franchise if superhero movies like have much left in them, and we're gonna see that with James Gunn's DCEU, I think. Did someone say choo choo choo? Okay, no. I'm gonna say don't manipulate the hype train, please. I appreciate the thought behind it, but I'd rather hype trains not be manipulated into existence. Thank you. The thought counts. I am thankful for it. But, I don't know, I feel it, I know, I'm not sure I agree with it. I appreciate the kindness where it's coming from. But, I'm not sure I agree with the manipulation of the systems. Spoiler, I think DC is done too. Only Batman and Superman will do anything. I think that'll really, like, show us, like, how Gunn manages to handle it, you know? Because, like, I don't know, people were saying, like, no one's going to care about, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Gunn got people to. Even low-performing superhero movies are still raking in, like, millions. Yeah, even low-performing superhero movies are still raking in millions. Like, I think it's not as Jover as some people make it seem like it is. But I feel like it doesn't mean we're not going in that direction. If that makes sense. Like, again, I think it's like a they put Gunn at the helm of this. Have they done that? Well, no, I think they've done that with some confidence. And I think it'll be interesting to see how he handles it and how well he handles it. I do think there's definitely, like, a lot behind the idea of using bigger names.
Photos printed?
Thank you for the gifted sub. I'm behind you. Or Area 51 on Brendan. I was that the words. Lost them again. But yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you for the sub. To Nightmare Shadow 2006. But yeah, thank you. Thank you a lot. Who's your favorite Marvel superhero? Spidey-Man is like the iconic guy, you know? He's like, he is the guy, you know? Like, he is the one.
Photos printed?
You manipulated the hype train, Area 51. I'm surprised it triggered from 3. Gonna be real. Thank you for... Wait, no, it's not even 3. It triggered from 2. What the hell? Right, that's you? As in... I'm surprised it triggered from 2, but yeah. Thank you for the gifted sub.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Oh, you played it with bits, I see. I forgot you could do that. Thank you for the bits, Rob, and thank you for the gifted sub, Area 51 is watching. Thank you again for the gifted sub, that was very kind, and thank you for the bits. The bits for the woo, yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Alright. As long as it's 2 people gifting in short succession, I see. I wonder if it... It's like a higher threshold for, like, bigger streamers, if that makes sense. Like, does XQC only need 2 people to gift subs to get Hype Train going? Because that wouldn't make sense. Like, or is it, like, based on income? I do wonder how they balance it. But thank you all the same, Area 51 / I am behind you / Brendan. For the gifted subs. That is very kind. Thank you a lot. I feel like I haven't heard about him in a while. He did something recently. He did something recently. I cannot remember what he did recently. But he did something. What did he do? What did he do? I know he was defending trans rights against Aiden Ross on that one stream. And it was like, broken clocks right twice a day or something. Rare moment where XQC is like, being logical, saying something that makes sense. And I'm not just taking the piss out of his accent.
Photos printed?
Dorsal fins too. Oh, right, yeah, no, I got confused then. Thank you for the, thank you for more gifted subs.
Photos
Area
printed?
51. Sorry, I baffled myself there, because Dorsal Fins 2... Dorsal Fin 1 is a friend of mine. Dorsal Fins 2 is the CahirLIVE of Dorsal Fin 1, I guess. You know how it is. But thank you for the gifted again. Thank you. Thank you for the 2 more gifted to Catherine Snow and Dorsal Fins 2. That's trained on. Congratulations on 3 years, mate. Thank you. Well, that's 3 years of affiliate, to be clear. Yeah, 3 years of affiliate, to be clear. My 3-year anniversary was in January. This was just how long I've been able to earn money on Twitch. You think Felix is all around the world a bad name? The XQC is called Felix? Three years is still 3 years. That is very true. That is very true. It's... Where did it been 3? It's a long ass time. Longest time to have been streaming. Another 2 years and I will have streamed as many years as the Phil's a Hardcore world. Yeah, the X is from his name. Huh. I never knew that. Bizarre. He definitely did something more problematic more recently, I think. Can't remember what it was, though. XQC, that is. But I don't tend to put too much stock in thinking about streamers I don't watch and don't care about that much. Like, yeah. Good way to live. True. Everybody hydrate, redeem. Everybody hydrate. That's the rules. That's the law, actually. If you don't hydrate right now, it's over. Alright. Or you've hydrated. We will find if you don't. Exactly. We will know, and we will find you. Can you hydrate with milk? You're on thin ice. Which you could also use to hydrate, really. realistically, that could also hydrate you. Yahoo!
We are watching Eyes.
Exactly, it's Area 51. Area 51, if you don't hydrate, they're gonna lock you. If you don't hydrate, they're gonna paint you green and put you with the aliens. No, ice in the milk, that dilutes it. That's a fair point, actually. I don't know why I didn't consider that. Had not thought about that. Now I have. You're right. The aliens need dinner, exactly. Exactly. Right. Oh, you guys got your hype train emote. Congratulation. Mine is a bear with a baseball bat. That's my hype train emoji. This guy. Batter up. I guess that is what you all got. Congrat for your emote. Alright. Wait, yeah, I know I get them as well. Which means I'm getting a lot of stuff out of this, I guess. Hype trains really do benefit me. Maybe you should manipulate the hype trains more. You shouldn't. Please don't. Alright. Alright. No, okay, no, seriously don't. I appreciate the sentiment behind it. But I'd rather not the continued manipulation of what's it called? The hype train system. Alright. You know, I'm gonna drop the gifted anyway, so we may as well get something out of them. Yeah? I could see that argument. But I better not get in trouble with Twitch. To be fair, I don't see why I would. Alright. I mean, yeah, my stream dates are as they always have been. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But obviously do not ever feel pressured to gift. Twitch is always watching. Yeah, on YouTube, actually. They watch on YouTube. $44 given so far. Bloody hell, that is a lot. 44? Thanks, dude. I don't think I've ever... Thanks. That is a lot. Thank you. I hadn't considered that. That is a big number. Thank you a lot. Yippee! Yippee indeed. I second the yippee. Alright. Alright. So I've begun reading The Secret Commonwealth, which is a sequel to his Dark Materials.
Mate, you help me de-stress every time you come online. Believe me, it's well worth it for my sanity.
I'm glad I can help. I'm glad I can help in even a small way. I'm happy to hear that. But yeah, thank you for your support. It's genuinely means a lot. Yeah, thank you, dude. And I'm glad I can help. Certified shiny next stream, remember. Holding you to that. What was the number you said? I can't remember the number you said. We're moving jobs over the summer. Oh, best of luck. Hopefully that goes well. Are you changing career entirely, or are you moving to a different teaching job? Save file will be erased. Yo, we got the save file. Will be erased. From primary to secondary school. Oh, best of luck. Best of luck. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully those secondary school kids treat you well. No, was I worse? I don't think I was worse specifically in classes from primary to secondary. At least I can call these ones wee wankers. True. You said 5095. I see. Maybe next stream then. There's a solid chance. I think it might be the stream after, actually. It was frowned upon when you do it currently. I can imagine. I can imagine. Although I will say I wouldn't be surprised if it's frowned upon anyway. I feel like people don't like it when you swear at children. Even if they're like 15. But then again, what do I know? I'm not a teacher. That's it, you're now 184 hours into Final Fantasy VII. Now, once you finish these last 2 chapters on hard, you're done. The end's finally in sight. Hell yeah, best of luck. Some just deserve it real. But yeah, best of luck, Rob. And best of luck to you as well, Brendan. Hopefully the school switching goes well. Alright. But yeah, saying about reading. Yeah, so I've begun a Secret Commonwealth. It's a sequel to his Dark Materials from Philip Pullman, which starts with the Northern Lights, or the film The Golden Compass. Or the BBC series. Can I have luck too? I'll forward it back to you so you get the shiny at 5095. I'm not sure that's how it works, but you can have luck as well, Felix, yes. Going to be different to moving from a school with 70 to one with 1,200. That is a bit of a difference, yeah. Bit of a sharp increase in amount of students. But, I don't know, I feel like... What's it called? I feel like you don't really... The numbers feel bigger as you, like, move around and stuff, but I never really, like, truly clocked it going from secondary school, or going from primary to secondary. If that makes sense. I think that, like... I wouldn't be... Oh, wait, no, you'll have a bunch of classes, though, aren't you? You're teaching. That's a fair point. Pays better, but you prefer to stay in primary, so these guys and girls are legends. That's fair, that's fair. Hopefully, secondary school students prove you wrong. And you, still enjoy it. Alright, yep. Philip Pullman, Dark Material sequel. Basically what I'm trying to get at is, it's interesting going from one book to another, from two different authors entirely, because I enjoyed Dune and I enjoyed Dune Messiah. You know, they were both very good books. But I find it a lot easier to read Philip Pullman's writing than Frank Herbert's. Not in the sense of, like, I don't like the writing style or anything like that, but it's just easier to read on. I don't know what it is about it, but, like... It feels quicker. The reading feels quicker. And I very much felt in my gut, like, much more of an urge to read one more chapter than I did with Dune, you know? Like... I very much enjoyed Dune conceptually. But I don't know what it is about the writing. It's very, like... I often hear people say it's, like, a hard book to get into. And I kind of see where they're coming from now. More in, like... switching... to a different author is kind of showing me. If that makes sense. I don't think you'll be allowed to take any third-year classes as your nephew will be in that year. Ah, fair. Something here? I guess so. I wouldn't be surprised if it were. Makes sense. Means you can't bias. Give them better grades. Which makes sense. Alright. But yeah, no, but it interests me that different writing styles can do that, and I wonder if that's like a personal thing or what.
Hell no, I would be harder on him, he's a gobshite.
Oh, real, actually, I forgot about your nephew. If this is the same one as you meant... If this is the same one as mentioned before. I was more meaning, like, less you specifically, though, as much as why that rule's in place in the first place. You should definitely subtly manipulate his teachers into giving him lower grades, though. That'd be really funny. He is the one who got rid of all your Pokemon. Yeah, no, you should definitely, like, manipulate the other teachers into giving him lower grades. I didn't say that, to be clear. That's, it's a joke. I'm joking. I don't know if I can get in trouble for saying things like that. I don't know if I'm, like, in a position where I can, you know? Because I know, like, people are always like, oh, can't talk about gambling, can't tell people to gamble because, like, that's giving, like, financial advice or something. And that's illegal. I don't know if I'm in, like, a position where that's, like, illegal for me, specifically. Gamble? I, like, just said the word gamble and I was like, oh! Oh! I was thinking that's the reason you applied.
Get it twisted, gamble. Please start gambling. Gambling is an investment and an investment only. You will profit, you will win. You will do all of that, you understand.
The Cahir Wiki is actually the police building a case for your arrest. Felix, are you the police? Speaking of gambling, any Mario Kart coming soon? I did it recently? Not as recently as I thought. Probably in a couple of weeks or so. Will be the next Mario Kart stream. I try to do like one a month. I missed the reading of the emoticons. Yeah, but then it doesn't get the you understand, and then I don't understand it. How am I supposed to understand it if it doesn't say you understand? You aren't even joking about that. For real. Yahoo!
Have 5.6k here burning a hole in my pocket rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh. I was trying to... If you theoretically save them, you get good things, remember? Or you could play the Moist Critical, woo, yeah, baby, 11 times. It's 11 Moist Criticals. Girl, share some with the rest of us. Me. Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! I'm getting better at the timing for it. Shout out to my ex-boyfriend Kyle for cheating on me with a Thai femboy. Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that, Dimitri. Welcome to the stream today. Whoa, yeah, baby. That. Wait, no, no, not to that. That's a horrible response to that. I just kind of autopiloted into repeating everything you said. That's not a woo yeah baby moment. Welcome to the stream, Rude. Sorry, bad timing. A little bit. A little bit. Just a little bit of bad timing. I'm sorry, Dimitri. I'm very sorry. Welcome to the stream. I hope, you're doing? I was gonna say doing alright, but... I hope other elements of your life are going well. Today we're shiny hunting for Minccino. The shiny Minccino at the beginning of Pokemon Black and White. Because this Minccino can indeed be shiny, it's not shiny locked. You sleep with huggers? Oh, understandable. Self-care and whatnot, right? Treat yourself. That's what I always say. Alright. No, okay. No shiny. At 4757. Alright. But yeah, no, as I was saying, like, I find it interesting that, like, different writing styles can, like, kind of function so differently in the brain. And I wonder if that's, like, a consistent thing or not. Because the fact that people have always said to me that, like, Dune is, like, a meaty book to get into, is, like, a hard book to get into, makes me wonder if there is, like, actual truth behind it, you know? If there's... I mean, there's definitely people who could make a good story but might not be able to write a good story. If that makes sense. Write it well. But I guess I'd never really considered it like that before. And I am considering it. like, makes me wonder what specifically is engaging me about Philip Pullman's work. You need more diversity of literature. I mean, definitely. What's it called? That's like... Zoppy, welcome to the stream. You did indeed get a gifted sub from Area 51 is watching today. Why did you get gifted a sub? You won the luck of the draw. And congratulations. It was Area 51 who gifted a couple, and you were one of the lucky ones selected. Why? He was gifting subs, wasn't he? No, yeah. No, I get what you're saying about diversity of literature, though. I definitely do need to. I've been getting back into reading after a long break. When I was in, like, secondary school, early secondary school, like year 9, I could get through, like, a book, like, 2 books a week. Which I'm sure isn't as impressive as some people, but, like, I could read well, especially for, like, someone with dyslexia, but I just kind of fell off at some point, and I've been trying to, like, properly start reading again. So I understand that I'm probably making a very surface-level, assessment with the, different writing styles, engaging people differently and stuff, but I don't know, it's something that stood out to me a lot as I got into The Secret Commonwealth, was, like, off the back of Dune Messiah. Because, like, Dune Messiah was a book I enjoyed. I liked it a lot, you know? But it was, like, a book where I'd read a couple of chapters and be like, okay, that's enough for the night. But, why don't you choose a viewer that's active in your channel? I mean, to be fair, I don't believe, Felix Cugins got one. It is weird how it's not, like, specifically, like, people in chat. But, enjoy Cahir Mela dancing all the same. Twitch just hates you, I don't know. Damn, I guess you're just gonna have to subscribe, yourself. I'm kidding. Mate, you ever read the Percy Jackson series? I did. I thoroughly enjoyed that when I was younger. I think I got through the first one and, like, the Heroes of Olympus series, where they introduced all the, like, Roman gods as well. Well, they didn't introduce the Roman gods. The Roman gods were just, like, alter egos of the Greek gods, right? But, it was that. Skullduggery Pleasant I really liked when I was younger. Cherub was another series I really enjoyed. I don't really, Oh, that's Boogie even. Yeah, no, I can't really remember, like, at what point I'd stopped reading, but there was a point when I just kind of did, and then I struggled to get into books after that. Like, for a couple of birthdays in a row, my sister got me, like, what is it? La Belle Sauvage, which is the first, entry in, the follow-up series to his Dark Materials from Philip Pullman, and then the first Witcher book. Oh, the music stopped. And this is why I stay on this side. And, like, those are books that would both be right up my street, you know? Piece of media I should fundamentally enjoy. And I started reading both of them, but never got into either of them that far. But I'm making a proper effort to start reading now, and it's going well. I'm a reader again. Alright. Probably because I was telling him to subscribe on Twitch, Brendan. Alright. But yeah, like, I wonder how much the attention brick kind of fueled that idea. the iPhone. Well, I mean, I have an iPhone, but the mobile phone. Yeah. Like, I wonder how much that is rotting people's attention spans as people are acting like. Like, I know it's supposedly traceable that people's attention spans have gone down. But I don't know, I wonder how much of that is hard facts, you know? How much of that is, like, hard truth? And, yeah. How much isn't? Was it bias? Can I remember the words? Nope, it's God. The word's God. It's not in my head. Confirmation bias. Wait, I missed it. Was this a threat? Yeah, if we catch you on Twitch again, Felix. Alright, I'm gonna go piss quickly. I'll be right back. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'll be right back. Oh, how do I close this down? What the hell? What the hell? There we go. You know how penguin bars have puns on the wrapper? My mum was making me guess one. Oh, you ate. Eating squares. Anyway, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna eat. You know what? That's not a segue I'm gonna make. I'm gonna go to the toilet quickly. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Back again. The tasty piss GG. No! Oh.
Photos printed?
Oh no, that was his old account! Thank you for the gifted sub, Area 51. To, Brugger's old. Old, Twitch account. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub all the same. It's the thought that counts even if it doesn't land on. Brugger got locked out of his old Twitch account. Brugger's new account is Burger McLedian. So that is Brugger McDonald from our community, but that's his old account that he can't access anymore. How does a penguin get to work? Answer can't really be conveyed by typing, so I'm not going to tell you! What does that mean? What does that even mean? I don't know what that... Huh? Just let the penguin get to work. He penguins. Get it? He penguins. I'm a genius, really. For the sake of everyone here, I'm gonna say you're right.
Photos printed?
Oh, you got aim a new sub. Thank you, Area 51, for another gifted sub. That is an active account this time. Thank you all the same. Did you say that's 40 on this? It is. That's 40 on this account now. Bloody hell. That is a lot. Thank you. Thank you again. You're very kind. Yeah, thank you, dude. Sorry, I'm still thinking about for the sake of everyone here. Time for others to catch up. I mean... That is a lot of subs, I'm gonna be honest. That is enough gifted subs for one account alone, I think. Not bad for a month. I mean, it's been a couple of months now, hasn't it? I started back in Munch? Started back on Munch. I started streaming on Twitch back in Munch. Everyone's favourite month. Love Munch. Big Munch fan. So it's been 2 months. I don't know the anniversary date, but I assume we're approaching it. Your sub only ended last week and you got day one here. What was last week? Really? Because Rob also renewed his sub. I feel like that was longer than a week ago. I might just be wrong though. Huh. In that I believe that you got day one. But I remember Rob's being longer ago. And I know he was day one. And renewed. Although I guess it depends on how quickly you can renew a sub. Like, is it after 3 weeks, or... I don't know. Sounds like you got the statistics, so I'll trust you on that, though. More Xenoblade music. Alright. But yeah, I was looking for a word in my head, but I'm not anymore. I've decided no more words. Anyway. Yeah, we'll do... Maybe yeah, I'm gonna get up to 4800, I think. That'll be the dub. We'll get to 4800, then I'll end for the day. I won't end for the day, I'll do Pokidoku. Or Pokidokus. Maybe get a Mr. Basculin. Yeah. No, I've lost it. Okay. I wanted to sneeze. Believe me. I truly wanted that sneeze. Okay. Oh, then if you do the same amount next time, you will reach the 5095 at the end. Impressive. What's black and white and black and white and black and white? Is it a nun rolling down a hill? Or a penguin rolling down the hill, I guess. A penguin falling down a hill, yeah. Pokemon Anime Season 14. Is he okay? Did you check on him? What's black and white and red? A penguin I kicked the shit out of. Alright. Nope, try again. A football used as a murder weapon. That or like a newspaper, but a newspaper would be a boring one. Oh, is it the nun? Leave her alone. Right. Is it piggyback? Maybe a bit. Maybe a little bit. Oh wait, you forgot to add more to the egg lock. I wonder what Felix is going to add to the egg lock. I bet it's going to be Bidoof. I don't know what you're talking about. A Charmander, Pikachu! Hello, Missy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Ditto. Ditto can't hatch from X. I mean, nor can Pikachu, actually. Yahoo!
Ah, is the cat here, Red Heart?
She is. Can you not hear her? Oh, I guess audio suppression might be muting her. I was kind of hoping she'd be audible. She's being very loud. Well, I just realised that's not a Politoed. What do you mean? It is a Politoed. What are you talking about, Felix? It's definitely a Politoed. Ditto can actually breed with another Ditto? I could have sworn Ditto couldn't breed with itself. I guess we'll take to Google. And Ditto. Breed with Ditto. It's top one. Unfortunately, Ditto cannot breed with Ditto. Members of the Ditto A group can only breed with other... cannot breed with each other. Which means the only way to acquire a Ditto is through catching them in the wild. Yeah, Ditto is not an eggable Pokemon. It's sad that you couldn't hear the cat. I like it when you can hear the cat, because she's very loud. The more you know, That. And did you know that I mean, I did a Pokemon short on this. Nidoqueen's infertile. Nidoqueen can't breed. Nidoking can. Nidoqueen cannot. Not even with Ditto. Which is kind of whack. Wait, isn't there a baby Nidoqueen thing? I think I saw a post the other day about a baby Nidoqueen. But I just realised a baby Nidoqueen can't exist. Whack. Alright. 3 more encounters. Obviously, Felix won't think we'll get it in these 3, but who knows? Yahoo!
Mate, can you post link again, please?
If you do ! Egglock, it'll be given. Nightbot will paste it. Oh, Felix has done it in YouTube. Oh, you've also done it in Twitch. Felix, I mean, I think Felix did it first, but the Twitch one came first. The Twitch Nightbot response arrived first. You did it for yourself. Yeah, of course. Obviously. Right. So you don't have to travel to that wretched site. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, the Egglock link is in the description of the video. I did put it in the description on YouTube, just to make it easy to get to. Still have the tab open. Thank you, Felix. Is it in Discord somewhere? It is in the Discord. It's in the announcements channel. It is the second post posted in the announcements channel. Wait a minute. Man, that Violet series took a month. That's crazy. Especially considering I fucking lost it. Took a month to get through Pokemon Violet and lost in the end. Great. Oh, that was the final encounter. Final encounter for the day. Sorry, I just realized I was looking up things I wouldn't want to be displayed on stream. Well, Streamlabs stuff I was looking at earlier. And I wouldn't want that seen on stream. But, yeah, that'll be... No, you could... Oh, I missed the 4799 as a cool number thing, so that's good. I didn't get disappointed. Alright. There's another bonus one today. I might do it. We got Dual Type Steel, Evolved by Item, Final Evolution Bug, and Johto. Final Evolution Dual Type is Basculegion. Point poo. Mr. Basculin is still with us. Then Final Evolution Steel Type and Evolved by Item Steel Type. Doku, 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 and DD, my voice broke last. Welcome to the stream. I hope your week has been going well. Oh, I've been meaning to ask. I might have asked you this already and I forgot. Do you watch on YouTube and then comment on Twitch? Because it says you're not watching on Twitch. It says listening only. Sometimes I see.
Open your hearts to the Mr. Basculin. He will lead you to your shiny cappuccino. He will always be with you.
My shiny cappuccino? I hate coffee! You better not. You better not. I don't want him to do that. I don't want a cappuccino. I have a choice in this, right? 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 A Steel Final Evolution. Let's go. Okay, Orthworm doesn't count as a Steel Final Evolution. But do you know what does? Reverie. Does it? Just realised Reverie might be Rock type. Don't answer that. I don't want the answer to that. Oh, Archaludon counts, but Archaludon, I feel like Archaludon got put down last time. It was like a high one last time. Higher than some others.
Yahoo!
Pardon the autocorrect. Mr. Basculin is a true gentleman. He will lead you to the beverage of your desires.
Let's go! I love the beverage of my desires. Is that like the Holy Grail? The beverage of my desires? Shiny Cappuccino or Shiny will always fail. I better not fail it, please. I guess it's not a Shiny I can fail, really. Anyway. I think it's just Sparkling Water. I kind of like Sparkling Water. Most people, like, hate it. I don't hate it that much. I need to do things. Ferrothorn, maybe? No, I think Ferrothorn's probably put a lot. Kling Clang? Probopass got really low last time. No, Probopass is a... It's a final evolution of Evolved. I thought it was Steel type Evolved, but that's not true. Oh, I almost put Rainer in instead of Caesar here. I almost put Rainer. I'm gonna put Proto Pass. 1.3, that's alright. Sparkling water is spicy, but good sparkling water is water that attacks you and is sweet. 2 out of 10 to 5 out of 10. Yeah, no, I thought it was alright. I kind of thought so. About sparkling. Me liking sparkling water, or alright. I'm gonna put Sinister here. Yeah, 0.5. Bug dual type and bug evolved by item. I don't think Caesar's the only bug evolved by item. It's not. Vicavolt is evolved by item as well. I'm gonna put Vicavolt in. Vicavolt. People are catching on to Vicavolt. Shit. Maybe Vicavolt wasn't a good answer. Dual type bug. Obviously, Caesar is another count, but I think I'm gonna put low kicks. Yeah. I don't know, just thought you would. I'm going to choose to take that as a compliment. Not a bad way, though. I like it too. Okay, cool. I feel like most people saying, yeah, you seem like someone who'd like sparkling water would not mean it in a nice way. Glad that you are an exception there. Okay, steel types from Johto. Obviously, Steelix. Skarmory. Skarmory and Steelix. There's got to be more, though. It's a brand new type. It's a brand new type. There's got to be some more, right? There's not only going to be 3 steel types in the whole generation, right? Right. Okay. I'm going to go to Johto dual type and then Johto evolved by item first, I think. Dual type is Quillfish. Quillfish is a dual type. Hoppip, Jumpluff, Skiploom. Would Hoppip get really low or really high? Spinarak and Ariados, Ladybird and Lydian. Delibird. Swinard, Piloswine. Mantine is Gen 2. Yes! Okay. There's more steel types, you reckon? So do I. Oh, Rainer. To be fair, I've already put Rainer down. Rainer's already graced the... Oh, but Mega Steelix. 11%. Okay, that might not be good. I'm guessing Caesar's probably going lower, though. No, not him? Oh, interesting. Okay, and then finally evolved by item. Steelix is technically in that category, but I feel like Steelix is going to be pretty popular. Kingdra is also in that category. I think I put Kingdra last time, and loads of people put Kingdra. Fortress, of course, Triss. Blossom. Politoed. $15%? Okay, Politoed was not a good answer. Let's see how I did. Most common was 56, and I got 79. That's alright, that's alright. Okay, yeah, Caesar Regular was actually the least popular of both of these. I should have risked a Caesar. Steelix's Mega was the least popular Johto dual type. Igglybuff was pretty low. Wooper was low, really? Goldengo was the lowest here, but Probopass was near it. Dugtrios Alolan form was the lowest Final Evolution dual type. Basculegion was pretty low as well, though. Crabominable was the lowest Final Evolution evolved by item. Sinister was pretty low as well. Armoldo was the lowest here. Who did I put again there? Low Kicks, who got 4% in comparison to 0.4. I got 16% in comparison to 7.4. Okay, Caesar's Mega Evolution was the 3rd highest. That's not great. Vicavolt was the lowest there, and I actually got Vicavolt there, so that's good at least. It's funny, because he was the one I thought would be the highest. And he was one of the lower ones. Anyway, there's also a bonus puzzle here, which I kind of want to do. Apparently there's one answer to each category, which is interesting. Can learn Dragon Rage. Okay, I know this is Charmander. I'm guessing this is Naganadel. It is not. Oh, it's probably Guzzlord. I'm going to do each one once. Mythicals that can learn Dragon Rage. It might be Mew? If Dragon Rage was ever a TM. Are there any Dragon-type mythicals? Let's work back. Petrant isn't, Zarude isn't. Zorora isn't, Magina isn't. Marshadow isn't. It could be Marshadow. Mantine was never in Gen 2, actually. It was created in 2006. They just gaslit us all into thinking it existed before Mantine, because baby Pokemon. Oh, yeah, no, of course. I think it might be Mew. It's either Mew or Marshadow. I'm gonna put Mew. It was! I got it right. Okay. Starters that are electric type is Pikachu. Yeah. And then starters that are flying type is Rowlet. Yeah. Zeraora is this one. Arceus Flying is the flying type mythical. Flying mythical. I'm gonna go to Gen 5. Gen 5 is a lot. Victini, Genesect, Meloetta, and Gen 1's Mew, Gen 2's Celebi. Gen 3's Jirachi and Deoxys. Gen 4 is Darkrai, Manaphy, Shaman Sky. Then Ultra Beast, that electric type, is Xurkitree. And this one's Celesteela. And the only Ultra Beast that is Guzzlord. It was Guzzlord. So I technically got it right in the end, because I thought, oh, it must have been Guzzlord, because it wasn't Naganadel. But, I did only get 8 of them correct, technically. So I was, like, almost there. I did a good enough job at that one, you know? I did a good enough job. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. I certainly have. Next stream will be a new series. It will not be a Pokemon game, and I hope you look forward to it. I'm assuming this probably won't do that well, but I kind of want to play it on stream. I feel like playing it on stream, so I'm going to play it on stream, damn it. I'd highly recommend showing up, because I think it'll be a good bit of fun. But yeah, I hope you'll have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Goodbye, and good night.